This is video number 3 in the Simple Faces series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create a cute pigtail girl similar to these. To begin with, go to File, New, choose Web Minimum, title it Face number 3, and put your name on it. Click Create. I am going to take one of these faces and paste it into this file so that I can look at it while I'm drawing. First of all, let's set up our colors. Go to Window, Swatches, and open the side menu. Go to Open Swatch Library, choose Skin Tones, and I'm going to take this tab and put it inside the Swatches tab. And I'm going to tear off brushes and close it, and tear off symbols and close it. Now back to Swatches, open the side menu, open Swatch Library, and from Color Books, I'm going to choose True Match. So I'll take the True Match tab and put it in with my swatches. Okay, I'm going to put this over here on the side and stretch it out so that I can see my colors. So to begin with, I'm going to choose a skin tone. Let's see, how about this one right here? So down here in the fill and stroke area, I want to make sure that the fill is set to my skin tone and the stroke is set to none. Next, I will select the rounded rectangle tool grouped together with the other shape tools. And I will click and drag out the shape of the face. Next, I'll click on these little circle in the corner and drag it to make a nice oval. And I'm going to stretch it so it's a little bit longer. To deselect that, I'm going to use Control or Command Shift A, and I'm going to draw another shape to be the hair. And I'm holding down the space bar so that I can move my shape around. And I'll choose a color for it. How about this beautiful brown color here? Grab the circles in the corners, drag them in to make an oval shape. And I'm going to reposition this by clicking directly on this center point. That will allow me to move it without switching to the selection tool. Now I'm going to make the pigtails. So I will click and drag a nice puffy pigtail here on the corner. Click on my circles to make it an oval. Now I'm going to click and drag a longer bottom part of the pigtail here, and I'm holding down the space bar while I'm drawing to reposition that. And I'm leaving a gap in between for the little rubber band. So grab the circles, pull that in to make an oval, and now I will click and drag a rounded rectangle to be the rubber band, and let's see, I think I will make it a nice lavender color. How about this lavender? Now V on the keyboard to select the selection tool. I'll click on the top part of the pigtail, hold down Shift, click on the middle part and the bottom part, right click and go to Group. Right click again and go to Arrange Send to Back. Holding down Alt on the keyboard, I will click and drag, and as I'm dragging I'm going to hold down Shift 2, which will constrain that to be directly across from the other pigtail so that they're nice and lined up. Okay, I think I'm going to make the hair just a little bit more over on this side and then reshape this to make it an oval. There we go. Now I'm going to work on the features of the face. I'll start with the eyes. So I will click L on the keyboard to get the ellipse tool, and I'll click and drag out a little oval, change the eye color to black, hold down the Alt key and drag off another eye. And as I'm dragging, I'm going to hold down Shift so that they are directly across from each other. Now, V on the keyboard to switch to the selection tool, hold down Shift and select both eyes, right click and group. Now we want to make sure that the eyes are centered on the face. So with the eyes selected, I'm going to hold down Shift and click the face also. Over here in the Properties panel, if you look down towards the middle, you can find Align. So I'm going to click this one, which is Horizontal Align Center. So that shifts everything around a little bit, and I'm going to use the arrow keys to recenter the face between the pigtails. There we go. Now I will create the cheeks. So L on the keyboard to get the ellipse tool, hold down Shift, click and drag to make a circle, and I'm holding down the space bar to move that around to where I want it. I'll go back to True Match and choose a nice pink color for the cheeks. Hold down Alt on the keyboard, click directly on that square in the center, and that will allow me to drag off a copy. And if I hold down Shift while I'm doing that, it will make it directly across from the first one. So I will hit V on the keyboard to switch to the selection tool, hold down Shift to click, select the other cheek, right click, group those together. Now with that selected, hold down Shift, get the eyes and the face, and again go over to the Properties panel, Align, and choose Horizontal Align Center. Great. Next, I'm going to make the little nostrils part of the nose. So L on the keyboard and hold down Shift to make a perfect circle, and I'll click and drag out a teeny tiny little nostril. And let me get the zoom tool to make that larger so that we can see what we're doing, and also so that we can select it easier. So it's automatically the same pink color as the cheeks because I did not change the fill color. So I'll get V on the keyboard, switch to the Move tool, hold down Alt, drag off a copy, draw a box around both of those, right click and group. Now I'll move those into the center of the face. I will hold down Shift and click on the other components of the face and choose the Horizontal Align Center. The next thing that I'm going to work on is the mouth. So L on the keyboard, whoopsies, let's deselect, Control or Command Shift A to deselect. So L on the keyboard to get the ellipse tool, hold down Shift so that you can draw a circle. M on the keyboard to switch to the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle right over the top of that. V on the keyboard for selection tool. Use the Pathfinder option, which is over here in the Properties panel. If it's not showing, simply go to Window and choose it from the alphabetical list. I will choose the second option over, which is minus front. Now hold down Alt on the keyboard, drag up a little half circle, hold down Alt again, and I'm going to overlap these, draw a box around both of them. From the Pathfinder option in the Properties panel, choose the first one, which is Unite. Now I will hover the cursor around the outside corner to get the rotation arrow. Hold down Shift, which constrains this. Now I will line up the lips. There we go. And make them a little closer together. Draw a box around both. use the Unite option of the Pathfinder. Let's move this over here, and I'll make the lips just a little bit of a darker tone of pink. There we go. And let's take a look at this. Control or Command 0 makes it fit on the screen. So far so good. So the last thing that I need to do is make the bow that's in the hair. L on the keyboard, click and hold down Shift, click and drag to make a circle. We'll get the eyedropper tool and click on this purple so that it makes that the same color as the rubber bands. V on the keyboard to switch to the selection tool. Hold down Alt, drag off a copy, and as you're dragging, hold down Shift to make it stay in line. L again to get the ellipse tool. Hold down Shift while you drag, and I'm holding down the space bar as I'm dragging to get that centered. And I'm going to double click my fill color to bring up my color picker, and I'll make that a little bit lighter and then click OK. V on the keyboard to get the selection tool, draw a box around everything. Use this time in the Properties panel under the Align options, use Aligned Vertical Centers. I'll right click and group those together. Move my hair bow over here and I'll rotate it a little bit to be on the side of the hair. And that's it. That's the finished project. Make sure that you save your changes and then turn this project in so that you get credit. That's it for this video.